Beautiful home behind me, it is going to be given to someone through Habitat for Humanity. And one of the things about Habitat for Humanity, not only are they a win-win organization, but they also keep in mind the environment and sustainability so that new homeowners in the long run can save money. This is James Ball, who is with Habitat for Humanity. So James, for people who don't know what you guys do, tell me about the wonderful things you do for our community.
Sure. Well, Habitat for Humanity is a nonprofit organization. We use volunteer labor to build simple, decent, affordable homes for families in need. So we're trying to reach out to a population that couldn't go out on the standard market and afford a home.
Tell me some things that you guys do, first with the landscaping and the carport here.
Sure. Well, starting outside of the home, and it's actually an important area, about 60% of your water use is actually used outside of your home.
So the driveway has a slight slope, so it'll go right into the landscaping.
Exactly. The idea is instead of sending all of our water just out onto the street, goes into the stormwater sewage system, the municipality has to deal with all of that. Why not utilize it on the site by contouring, again, the driveway, the walkways, we care about how the roof comes down. We'll be putting some gutters onto this home.
Okay, and you don't plant any grass?
Correct, absolutely not.
See, there you go. But let's go inside and see some other things they do. Okay, so now we're inside the house, and you're saying that windows is one way that you're sustainable.
Absolutely. Windows are important. It's essentially a large hole in your envelope or your exterior wall, so we need to pay extra care there. The first thing we start with is the frame. The frame, typically in our old homes, we would put in an aluminum metal frame. That metal conducts heat very well, so a lot of that sun beating down on that metal outside transfer that heat inside.
So that's a no-no.
That's a no-no.
Okay.
These windows are vinyl. Okay, that's going to transmit less heat through the frame.
Plus the windows itself.
Correct. When we get into the glass, we do have double pane here. There's also tiny little bits of silver that are embedded in the glass, just small enough that we can't see it, but enough that the radiation from the sun that is beating down on that glass will be reflected back out of the home.
Who would have thought a window could be so complex? And James, so when it comes to lighting, what type of light bulbs do you use?
CFLs, 100%.
You gotta love that. Now tell me a little bit about the insulation, some other sustainable things that you do in the house.
Sure. Here we are using paints, caulks, and sealants that have less volatile organic compounds in them. VOCs is what those are commonly called.
So low VOCs when it comes to the paint.
Correct. And then we want to also make sure that we filter the air and bring in fresh air from outside.
Plus you have when it comes to the air conditioning system, you have fresh air coming in, so the air quality is pure.
Exactly. It's actually a big problem indoors, inside of our buildings and homes, that the air we breathe inside of these is bad for us. It is hurting us. And then we want to also make sure that we filter the air and bring in fresh air from outside. Okay. So we've actually installed this completely separate, unique system. It's called a fresh air ventilator, and that automatically controls the amount of fresh air that we bring in and take outside of the home.
Okay, and tell me about the insulation. You're saying that's key to saving energy.
Actually, really, it's number one. When you're starting with energy efficiency, you want to look at what we call the envelope of your home. The envelope would be the exterior walls. Of course, we want to make sure we have sufficient insulation. We caulk every single seam, penetration hole in our entire envelope around the home.
Okay, one more thing I want to ask you, James. This is actually surprising to me that James mentioned this, but can you believe that there are not many people who are actually applying for these homes?
We always need families. Okay. There is an extensive qualification process, but that zero interest mortgage and a sustainable home, we feel is worth it.
Well, James, thank you so much. This was so educational. Total win-win. You're helping out people who have a need, giving them a beautiful home, and it's also helping our environment.